On this week's episode, we talk about Batman, A Death in the Family.
And all the pop culture news. This week, last Saturday was Batman Day, so to celebrate, we saw Batman, Death in the Family. Because we couldn't talk last week because we had a lot to talk about FanX, which, by the way, there's like hundreds of pictures of everything we've seen there, cosplayers, guests, the celebrities, the panels, everything that was cool to see. It's on our page on Facebook. Soon enough, we're gonna put the highlights, some of the best, on Instagram, which we already have some. Anyways, so we saw Batman, Death in the Family, which is interesting. Fun fact to start, I didn't know there's the DC animated universe, DC animations, you know. You have Flashpoint, you have Justice League War, and it goes all the way to Justice League Dark Apocalypse War, which I think that's what it's called. Anyways, or Dark Side War. I can't remember.
Might be that one.
Because the book is one name and the animation is a different name, slightly different name. So it goes all through that, and then we have what people are calling Rebirth, DC animation. We have The Man of Tomorrow. What else we saw that was on that?
That's a great. There was a Wonder Woman one, right?
The Justice Society of America.
Yes, that was very good.
Yeah, World War. That was 2 or 1? It was 2, right?
I think so.
Yeah. And so you have those new ones. And there's something different. There's also include DC properties, DC animations, but I didn't know it wasn't part of this compendium, this group of animation. It's called DC Showcase, which we see a little bit of DC Showcase in each animation DC puts out on the DVD, Blu-ray, 4K, whatever. They have shorts. So these are the DC Showcases animations, but they also have other movies. They have Batman and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They have what else is part of that?
Was Batman Ninja part of that?
Batman Ninja. It's something that
or is that something else?
Is not the DC animation, and it's not Showcase.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's not Showcase. At least it doesn't have the stamp Showcase.
It is really cool, though. I got a kick out of it.
The Slade Wilson, Deathstroke, Dragon something, right?
Yeah, what was it? Dragons and Knights and Dragons.
Knights and Dragons.
I think, yeah.
Yeah.
That
Anyways,
cool.
They have really great animations. That's not the question. It's just a different seal, you know. We have the DC animation collection. You have this Showcase collection. So as part of that collection, DC released Batman Death in the Family, which is heavily inspired by Batman Death in the Family. That was released years ago when Jason Todd, the second Robin, dies. And also Under the Hood, many years later, released. And spoiler alert. Yeah. But there was released when Jason comes back as the Red Hood. But what else? What do you want to say? What do you want to talk about this?
Well, just probably the biggest difference, the most notable thing about this one is that it is in fact interactive, has 7 different endings, and so at critical points in the story, you have to make a choice. And those choices will make you get to make a choice.
Yes.
And those take you to different endings. You can choose the one that most closely follows the book, that Jason dies. And that takes you on a storyline that pretty well follows what happens in the comic. Even so far as like there are lines of dialogue that are just exactly like verbatim out of the comic. But then there's also these really interesting paths that you can choose that really explore these characters and their dynamics, especially between Bruce, Jason, and the Joker, and the yeah.
Yeah, and one thing about the if you pick the known path, the path from the books, is gonna follow pretty much the same path as Batman Under the Hood, the animation. In fact, the base of the animation is the Batman Under the Hood animation. They use the same animation, but then at some points they give you different choices, and they have some of the same actors back to voice the characters. Some couldn't because they were busy with other things, but most of the actors, for instance, the actor that voices Batman, Bruce Greenwood, which I think is his name.
Yes.
Also, the Joker, what's his name?
John DiMaggio.
John DiMaggio.
Who interestingly also voices Thomas Wayne.
Yes.
In this. Yes. I know.
Anyways,
Deep.
So they got the same actors. So the base for this animation, for this interactive, what they call it? They have a name for it. It's interactive.
I don't remember.
Can you see the cover? The interactive story and interactive interactive movie. That's what they call. For this interactive movie, it's short, but give you all these options. But the main one is Batman Under the Hood. And it was like, when I started watching, I was like, this animation is the dialogue sounds a lot. It looks a lot like something else, and it's exactly the same. Which is good. It was a nice way to basically release. I wouldn't say deleted scenes because they never shot that because that was not the story, but some alternatives for the story. Yeah. And so it's more like something like Elseworlds, What If, and you pick what happens. And if you're gonna watch, if you're planning on watch the digital version that you buy, on digital streaming services like Hulu, Amazon, Apple, or whatever, you don't have a choice. You're gonna watch. That's good to know. Yeah, I don't know which story you watch, but you don't have a choice.
That's interesting because the different choices, like they were like completely different. Movies, different villains would show up. Like you follow one path and you're dealing a lot with Black Mask. Another path you deal with Two-Face. I mean, the Joker's always heavily involved. Yeah, but,
Ra's al Ghul.
Yes.
Talia.
Little baby Damien shows up at one point.
Yeah. Tim Drake. It expands a lot and creates several different characters using the characters that exist. There are seven different endings, and 3 Jason got sort of a happy ending, 3 a bad ending, and 1 is terrible for everybody. It's like everybody, literally everybody dies, burned. Is that the worst one? I think that's the worst one. Everybody dies.
So. Yeah. Well, that's usually that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
All across, but they keep at their core like the central issues of the story. That this is a like kind of the struggle between Batman or between Bruce and Jason's ethics. The Batman will not kill, whereas Jason feels like some of these people deserve it and really do need to die. So there's that conflict between them, and then also the father-son relationships. And so those two themes do remain pretty important in all the different storylines.
A couple interesting things. The choices are basically, I think all the choices are Jason's choices, right?
Pretty much. So at the very beginning, you choose whether Robin's gonna live or not, whether Jason will live or not. But then, after that,
it's all about Jason. There's nothing. You never choose anything for Batman.
No.
It's all about Jason.
You choose for Joker.
You choose for Joker.
And Two-Face.
No.
Well, like you choose the coin, like Two-Face flips the coin.
Oh yes.
You choose which way the coin.
Yes, But again, it's not for Two-Face. It's for Jason.
That's true.
Anyways, but then it's some interesting aspects. Back in I can't remember the exact date, the exact year when Batman: The F and Family was released. If you could check real quick.
Yeah, sure.
But what happened was during that time, DC did something very avant-garde for its time. Interactiveness or listening to their audiences, and they gave the audiences the opportunity to, if you search Death in the Family, it shows the date right away.
All right.
But so they gave the audiences the opportunity to choose.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Click there, and
Goodness, where is it?
it should show.
Yeah.
No.
88.
88.
Yeah.
So in 1988, DC Comics gave the fans this unique opportunity to choose. So we're thinking about killing Robin. What you guys think? Should we? Should we not? And the fans said, yeah, we should. There's not a lot of people that like Robin, you know. There's this really colorful kid jumping around, kicking bad guys. It's like, holy monkeys, Batman! This place smells like monkey's butt, whatever. Anyway, so back then the fans decided to kill Robin, and it was greatly done by the authors, and it was tragic. It was sad. It was one of I remember I read when I was a kid, and it was a big one. It was a dividing moment in Bruce Batman's life, because it was a real tragedy. He lost his son in this tragic way, which is one main difference that I always think is a main difference between what was under the Red Hood and it was on this one. That when Jason dies, it's not only about him dying. He died. He's like completely destroyed by the Joker. And they trying to escape. He and his mom that he recently found, and he jumps in front of the bomb to try to protect her, and unfortunately she dies too. But one of the main motivations of him is not selfishness. It's not like I can do it. It's like in the book, he goes back to the warehouse where the Joker is to try to save his mom. You know, when they take that element out of the story, out of the context, it's like, okay, this stupid kid think he could take the Joker. No, he went because he really wanted to save his mom, and it was like, I don't care if I'll die, I will save my mom, and I'm pretty sure everybody would. So every time they skip that, as like kind of like, even though his mom was a jerk.
They did that in Titans too, didn't they?
Yeah,
took the mom element out.
Oh yeah, in Titans was even worse because. He's
really just this little punk who.
Yeah, he has a lot of more of Damien on him than. Anyways, so the fans choose, and the Robin died. It was tragic. It changed the Cape Crusader's life forever.
Yeah. In fact, in the comic books, there's a great one where it's pretty much all from Alfred's perspective, and he talks about how he hasn't seen Bruce like this since his parents died. So for Bruce, like Alfred watching this equates Jason's death with the Wayne's death as defining moments for Bruce Wayne. Yeah,
and it was a big tragedy, and he just had this big tragedy not long before when Barbara Gordon was paralyzed. And raped by the Joker, and so it's like another tragedy, and he questions himself not only about the war, about his fight against crime, but about how could I put a kid to fight these type of bad guys. Anyways, down the road in the books and also in the show comes this new character called Red Hood, and if you know a little bit. You know that when the Joker originally showed, or at least it was a Killing Joke, was revealed that when he starts his life in crime, he would put a red hood in his face and he would call himself Red Hood. So then the story goes on, and you find out that's actually Jason that was resurrected with Lazarus Pit, yada yada yada. But one of the comparison elements I wanna bring now is. Like DC was avant-garde back in the day, letting the fans choose they decided to make this interactiveness to this interactive movie, which is very interesting. They had the chance again to give the fans the choice, and I think it was a pretty cool way to celebrate and to to work that same piece of the same source material. And now the fans in 2021 can choose like they choose back in the 80s, in the late 80s.
Yes. I really enjoyed it. I think it's a great way to explore the characters and the story. And yeah, the choices. None of the choices led to the consequences I thought that they would.
Like what?
Like, well, for example, if you choose to save Robin, Batman dies.
Oh.
So there's that. But then also some of them you'd think, oh, okay, well he's gonna be happier, right? This is gonna give Jason what he wants. Nope, he ends up tortured and twisted and horribly angry. And so it's
well, there's two save Robins, right?
There are two.
I mean, there's
and
no
even
two.
after that, there's a couple.
The choices it's called, like, one is save Robin and the other one is Jason cheats death.
Yeah.
And the one that the Batman saves him, he dies. And the one that he cheats death, he gets traumatized. In both, in all the timelines, he gets traumatized because in one he becomes Red Hood, in the one he becomes sort of the Hush. And the other one,
he's like a dark Red Robin.
Yes. Yeah. For
a little bit. I don't know, it's great. I would definitely recommend this to anybody who is a fan of Batman.
No, it's good.
I thought it was good. It was really good and it was interesting. The choices were, I don't know, it was it's a cool way to get into this story.
Yeah. And it's interesting how they touch all the Robins,
everybody in the Bat.
Yeah.
Almost everyone.
Nightwing, that in the timeline where Batman dies, he becomes Batman. Barbara Gordon, that is, used to be Batgirl. She goes into become Oracle, and helping Dick as the crime fighters. We see Damien as a baby, as mentioned before.
Tim shows up and becomes Bat-Kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's definitely really well done, and they play in some theories about, like, the Joker, for instance, and how the Joker is a counterpart to Batman. If there's no Batman, there's no Joker, and they actually do that, and he stops being the Joker.
He does,
and Jason finds him in a diner, and there's something he says. I thought it was really well done. When the Joker is killing Jason, he's beating him the crap out of him, and when he leaves, it's like
tell the big guy say hello.
To the big guy say hello.
Something like that.
Yeah, and then when Jason figures out that that guy at the diner, it used to be the Joker. He says, tells that, and he's like, boy wonder.
Yeah.
It's really well done.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
Different timelines and you choose. So it's fun. Oh, and there's one thing that under the hood I don't remember. Has been a while since I watched, but I'm pretty sure Superman is not there, and on this version he is, which is more comic accurate because Superman gets involved when Bruce comes back, because Jason dies in Ethiopia, Israel, somewhere.
I think it's Ethiopia.
Yeah. And this one they changed. They moved to
Sarajevo,
Bosnia. Anyways, when Batman comes back and he's like, I'm gonna go after the Joker, and knowing him well, Clark was like, I have to, hold him because he might kill this guy. And more than that, the Joker becomes a UN ambassador.
That's right, in the books.
The family of nation accepts the Joker.
Yeah.
And for Iran, yeah.
The writers were not shy. I remember it's 1988, and the writers, you could tell there was some bitterness toward Iran.
Yeah.
They chose Joker to be their ambassador to the UN.
Ayatollah Khomeini is personally asked the Joker to become their ambassador.
In fact, the Joker actually says in the comic, he says, I have so much in common with the great leaders of Iran.
Yes. And it's anyways, so because he becomes ambassador, he has diplomatic immunity.
Yeah.
So Superman is there representing, because the president asked him, he's there to tell Bruce and let Bruce know, it's like, you can't, because and I love this line, because you can attack him, because if you attack him, you're gonna give them an excuse to attack us. And then Bruce says, like, that never happened. Yeah, no, it's beautifully done. So it was good to see Superman in the show. They have great lines. It's like Bruce says something, Clark says something deep, and then Bruce is like, when you say stuff like that, it reminds me that I have contingency plans when you might go crazy. And then Clark says something similar.
Yeah.
When Bruce says something really dark. Yeah.
Their friendship is an interesting one.
Yeah.
One is they're I feel like they're kind of two sides of the same coin. They're very, like, the dark and the light, and anyway, that's a whole other conversation.
It is. I mean, you all have friends that have very different tastes and very different ways of doing things, but you're friends.
Yeah.
And I guess that's a good friendship. You exchange, you get something from a friend that you could never think or do, and vice versa.
Sure.
Learn from each other. And, yeah. What else?
I don't know. I don't really have anything else to add to it except, like, just watch it.
Yeah, it's fun. It's really good. It's available everywhere to buy on Blu-ray and also on streaming digital. But if you buy digital, you not have the choice, but it's good. There's some cool shorts. We didn't see all of them. We only saw one, but there's some cool shorts that come with it. And Bruce Timm, the man behind classic Batman animations, and Under the Hood. So this is like sort of an extension for Under the Hood, and it's really good. It's I definitely recommend Batman Death in the Family. There was like some critical change from the books, because she read the books.
Yes.
I mean, I read the books too, but she read recently. Yeah.
In fact, I finished the set last night, right before we watched it. So I'm getting stuff mixed up.
Yeah.
Like, wait, did I just read that or did I watch that?
I mean, no. The trick to remember if you read or if you watch is if you heard voices.
But I give them voices.
Okay, so I never deal with psychopaths, so I don't know how they read comic books. I wanted to try.
No, I
wanted to try, but some of the characters, like in the recent present that we hear on screen, and I try to give them voices. I got myself doing it, and on the same second I get myself stopping doing it. It's like, because no, that's not the character. That's not it. Like Jason from Titans. Sometimes I was rereading Death in the Family 2 this week, and I was like, it's like I would put his voice on. It's like, no, that's not Jason. That's a different Earth. That's a different alternative reality. Okay. That's almost Damien. That's not Jason. So sometimes same thing with the Joker, especially that Joker, 80s Joker. He's so different, so weird, and so you know so little about him. He's so scary that So some voices like Batman Conroy comes. Like,
Batman is always Conroy.
Yeah, that one is
always.
Not a hard one to voice him. But some of the others is
and for me, Joker is always Mark Hamill.
Yeah. It happens too. But there's some stuff that the Joker does. There's like, oh, this is very Hamill, but this is very Ledger, so.
Yeah, it's not something, but like when I'm reading it in my head, that's the voice
okay.
that comes, and I'm okay with
But
that.
yeah, if you want to hear voices, you can read the books, and if you want to hear voices, you can also watch the animation.
Yeah.
Batman: Death in the Family.
Yeah.
DC Showcase interactive movie, available everywhere.
All right. The Emmys.
The Emmys. Let's weekend. We also had the Emmys. And there was a lot of surprises and a lot of not surprises. So, the usual. Nothing crazy happened.
It was a really good night to be part of The Crown or Ted Lasso or Queen's Gambit. But that's been like all award season. Yeah,
people got together and some uber liberals whining. People was like, oh, there's too many people here. We're going to get sick. Yeah, whatever. Anyways, yes, definitely a great night for Ted Lasso. It's like...
Yeah.
Wow.
They won so many. They won comedy series. They won several. They won like supporting actress. They did well.
Yeah, Apple is knocking out the park.
Lead actor.
With a very, very inconspicuous show. It's like, it's first season. We didn't finish second season. But first season was good. But, I don't know, maybe this past year people stayed home. They need some light, warmed comedy about the good in human nature. And, something that will touch you, that will make you laugh. And maybe drop some tears. It's very touchy. It's very good.
It is.
The irony is like Americans that go to England to deal with all that. People. Europeans, British. They are like pseudo known for being colder and. Anyways, but. No, it's a surprise, but it's not really unexpected.
Right.
Because the show is good. And
yeah, and it's been the darling of the other awards shows.
Fun fact, you know who's one of the creators?
No.
One of the players.
Really?
The older guy.
Oh, wait, I got him. Brett Goldstein?
Yeah, that he is.
Yeah. He won supporting actor.
Yeah.
Good for him.
No, it was a great night for them.
Yeah.
And I guess for the Brits too. There's so many involved in the show.
They did. The Crown. Or wait, about Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso alone. Yeah. I'm not even talking about the Crown yet. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the Crown also won many awards. Gillian Anderson, of course, who you might be interested to know did not in fact consult with Margaret Thatcher.
Really?
For her role,
Why not?
Well, it turns out the Iron Lady died 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Which.
Oh, so she wasn't preparing for that role
before the show
8 years ago?
No.
Because she definitely sounds like she was preparing for this role like a long time. She does a really good job.
She was incredible. Her whole affect, even like the way she held herself, it was amazing. No, one hapless reporter on the red carpet asked Miss Anderson if she had talked with Margaret Thatcher about preparing for the role, which of course she hadn't. It would have been a great question, except that Margaret Thatcher has in fact been dead for several years.
Yeah,
so
maybe
that happened.
Yeah, that report is probably not for some country that was part of the British Empire for sure.
Sure, but do your homework. If you're going to be out there, because this kind of thing happens all the time. An uncomfortable
by all means, if you want to if it's a joke, sure. But if it's not, it becomes a joke, and then guess what? You're the joke now.
Yeah. hence the phrase hapless reporter. Oh dear.
Queen's Gambit hit a lot.
Yeah.
And won a lot. What else?
Those were like the big ones that swept. Kate Winslet won again for
Mare of Easttown. Mare of Easttown,
I think is what it is. Yep.
Yeah, HBO show. Which we also want to watch because it has those mystery elements. It was complemented by Stephen King. Stephen King says like, "Whoa, I really like that."
Okay.
Yeah, it's like, wow, Stephen King liked that.
Yeah,
it might be really good, or it might suck because you know his stuff starts really good, and then at the end, I was like, "What the heck? This guy was high on."
Yeah. Well, we shall see. Ewan McGregor took away
from the Netflix show.
Which I don't remember.
Was it Pose? No,
maybe.
That's a different show.
Either way, he won one for limited or anthology series. Those are probably the big ones that I recognized or was excited about.
Yeah. The show.
So kind of the same as we've seen like at the Golden Globes.
Yeah. Cedric Entertainment hosted, and it was funny because the guy's funny. Of course, there was people whining about stuff. There's always those. And there was people surprised. I don't know why, because WandaVision didn't win anything. But it was like
WandaVision was fun, but it wasn't like Emmys fun.
Yeah, when you get to the it's like playing ball with the pros,
Yeah.
And WandaVision was, I don't know, minor league. It was good.
Yeah, no complaints. I thoroughly enjoyed myself.
And it for me, it wasn't a surprise. I mean, for me, it was a surprise that people were expecting that. I was like, really? But it's Disney. Disney has the power of an empire to convince minds that they think to make they think what they want them to think, to the point that it happened before with Black Panther and the whole buzz because the guy the guy wasn't even dead. The guy was alive, right? But yeah, the whole buzz for the Oscars was like, this is a fabricated buzz. The movie was good, but not that good for an Oscar. It's like Dark Knight was splendid. It was excellent, and it didn't. So
Yeah. No, Black Panther. I think that like the production design type awards made a lot of nominations.
Sure. But
absolutely,
best movie?
But Best Picture, no.
It's anyways. So yeah, those are the Emmys. They were fun. Catch. Some of those shows, they're good. And
yeah. Yep. What hasn't been deemed so good is Dear Evan Hansen. So this is the film adaptation of the Broadway play starring Ben Platt in the title role.
Yeah. It's a sequel of the 40-year-old virgin.
So it turns out Ben Platt is only 27.
Yeah, he looks.
But whoever made him look like a teenager for the movie, he looks 40. It did not go well, and he's.
It might work in Broadway where they singing and screaming, and there's like heavy lights on, and heavy lights don't bother you because that's how they do it. But like when you go for realism of film, nope, it doesn't look good.
Yeah, so there's been
the very talented and pretty Caitlin Dever, I think that's her name. She was the daughter of Tim Allen on Last Man Standing.
Yes.
She still looks very young, and she is in the movie as a teenager.
It's actually really common to have people that age play teenagers.
But he doesn't look good.
He does not. He does not. And the makeup artist did him zero favors. So the film has not been well received by fans, by critics. It's just not. In fact, it actually has the same on Rotten Tomatoes. The fan and the critic scores are about the same, 40-something%.
Consensus.
Yeah, so it's not doing well.
There's some controversy. I didn't read deeply into it, but there's something about how, because the movie portrays elements and stories about mental health issues. And apparently it doesn't do it well because people that have mental health issues they were they liked the musical, are not liking the movie.
That's really bizarre. So get this. So there's backlash, especially against him taking the role, taking the title role, to which he responded, well, like, I created this, I workshopped this, this wouldn't exist without me. And he's kind of right.
So he is a creator?
He is the creator, and his dad is the producer of the movie, which is just really looking bad, especially given that nobody else from the original Broadway cast made it onto the movie, despite auditioning. So it's just not looking good.
If everybody had get it even if he looked bad, sure, but if only he was the only one. It's like you do a Hamilton movie, and only Lin-Manuel gets the role. Everybody else is like, no, you are really good in the stage, but with cameras, nah, you're not good.
Well, it's interesting. It's interesting you bring that up because in The Heights, right? This is Lin-Manuel's baby, right? That he just brought to the screen, and a lot of people were saying that he should take that role, and he just said, "Nope, I'm too old. It's gonna be distracting and
so
weird."
He did that on the stage.
He did, yeah. He tends to star in his own musicals, but so people wanted him to do the same thing here within The Heights, but he said, "Nope, too old. It would be weird." So he took a different role.
He does that,
but one that's somewhere age appropriate and has somebody else starring, and it seems like that just seems like the better way to go. It's.
Yeah, that's
anyway. It's unfortunate.
There's people, with diversity, with racial, with gender, and for all that. There people come saying that like comic books, something that we love and talk a lot about. It's like the studios, and that's something that happens these days because of this whole diversity context and politics. But back in the day, if someone would cast someone black to be Batman, Superman, or Batgirl, and I mentioned these three because they are not black. Someone's like, are you stupid? Someone paid you a lot of money to do that? Because adaptations like this to this, and the first thing is what you see. And you couldn't see so there's something wrong there, So and that's for me, just to say that some people say that there's no limits for acting. No, there's limits, and it's you might do it. I mean, I'd say 100 years from now, if that show is still relevant and is still being done, if you want to do it. Sure, you could use a woman, you can use a person of color, you can use something completely different than the source material, but it's been done so much, like Shakespeare, we have there's a new movie called something Macbeth.
Yes,
what's it called?
Tragedy of Macbeth.
Tragedy of Macbeth.
I'm so excited for this one.
It's with Denzel Washington, and it's fine, it's been done hundreds of years. Nobody's gonna complain about it. The problem is
because also Denzel has done Shakespeare before, and he's really good at it. Yes. So colorblind cast Macbeth. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. No, but my point is, once it's been done so much, sure, fine. But when it's like the first opportunity, you're gonna have to do this, and it might be the last. Like Batgirl, right? It's the first opportunity you're gonna have a Batgirl, and it's like 1939. Is Batman, and she was not 1999. She came later, so there's not there. And the first opportunity you have to do it well, to do it solo, and you're already changing the character. It kind of creates. It sets a standard for the future that the character will be not the character that was in the books, but now it happens with Iris on the Flash. Iris was black, was turned black for the Flash show, and then Snyder's like, hey, I like that, and he did that too. And then animations, hey, we did that, and they changed. And it's not like multiple races or groups of people doing different versions of the character. It changes the character in a way that's like, come on, the author didn't do that. It's like,
but does it always, I feel like with Iris, her race is irrelevant. I don't feel like her race ever really comes. No, I mean, I'm not talking about with some characters. I feel like their race would change the way they interact with the world, and so a black Superman would be a different hero, and maybe a black Batman might be a little different. But some of the other characters,
but my point is that
I don't think it would change anything.
But it changes the character. Is a different character.
But for Iris, how is she different because of her blackness?
Because now Iris is black. The
new
movie
how does
is
that
black.
change her?
I'm saying that's a different character.
But you're not explaining how.
Because the original character wasn't black.
Okay, so it's only the color versus. I'm saying the color in a case like Iris, a character like a supporting like secondary character like Iris.
Well, it changes.
Is their relationship different?
It changes. It changed Bart. Bart is black now too. It changes the whole series of characters because of
I'm just not convinced that it always matters.
I'm just saying
sometimes it does. I don't.
I'm just saying when you do like after it's been done, we know the character and this is a version of the character, right? With Iris, that became the character. If you do it in 2 years from now, you do an actress doing Iris and she's white, people will either think that people are doing something wrong.
Oh.
Or people will think that's a version of the character. But the original character is like that.
Sure. Sure.
So, anyways, so for me, it's just to say that there's a limit. You can't claim that there's no limit for acting. And when stuff like that happen on Dear Evan Hansen is showing that's like, guys, there's a limit. Especially for something new. Maybe in 300 years from now, when they're still doing it, it's like, yes, if they want the classic millennial, 100 years historical Dear Evan Hansen portrayal by Anthony Hopkins V in his 88th birthday. Sure, it's.
Yeah. I don't know, but here I think it's the opposite problem that like they needed somebody new to take the role. Instead of someone who has clearly aged out of it to the point where it's distracting from the actual story.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Which was really successful on Broadway. So yeah. Also, there's a limit to how much nepotism we can take because this definitely sounds like nepotism.
I mean, I think it's fine if he's talented and his father is in charge. Sure, but if not getting anybody else, it's ugly.
Yeah.
Anyways.
All right.
If you wanna go see it. We didn't. We might when it's on streaming.
Nah, I'm not terribly inspired to.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, Netflix has bought the rights. No, oh dear.
Estate.
They basically bought the Roald Dahl estate, like the rights to all of his books. And I can't remember the name of the organization that is in charge of.
Is Roald Dahl Land?
No, it's Roald. I can't remember. Basically, they still retain a lot of creative control, a lot of autonomy, because that's been a big concern for them over the years as people have approached them with, with screenplays and things like that.
Yeah, what happens to the new Chocolate Factory movie?
I think it's all part of that. It seems to be.
Is it for Netflix? It's not Netflix. I think it's MGM, right?
Is it?
I don't think it's Netflix.
I don't know. The article I read just talked about Taika Waititi doing an animated series.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the prequel with the kid from Dune. What's his bucket?
Timothy Chalamet?
Yes.
I don't know. They didn't mention that.
Okay.
So, because it's a previous deal, that might be fine.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Either way, Netflix is doing Roald Dahl stuff.
Talking about rights and legal stuff, it could be the end of the Marvel Universe as we know it. Marvel is being sued for the rights of characters like Iron Man, Spider-Man. Who else?
Black Widow. Was Thor on the list?
I can't remember. But it's
like a lot of those core Avengers. Yeah. So do we know why are they suing them or?
It's because the way the way it's like DC. I think they have the rights for all of their characters. And Marvel is split between Fox. I mean, it wasn't Fox.
Yeah.
But Sony and now there's Disney and all the authors are claiming ownership and they're claiming rights and royalties and all that. The families of them, mostly. I think the family of Stan Lee. And there's a lot of controversy with the family of Stan Lee. But yeah, there's a legal mess coming. And yeah.
All right. Fun times. Fun times indeed. Well, that mess is happening. December 17th, The Witcher Season 2 will premiere on Netflix. And ahead of that, they've already renewed for a Season 3.
Yes, and there's also coming in the animation something of the wolf.
Right.
For Witcher. There's thousands of years before The Witcher, so a different Witcher.
Yeah. So there's a lot more of The Witcher coming.
Yeah. And
that is a good thing. The Night Court sequel with Melissa Rauch. Rauch?
Yes.
Okay. Either way, they made the prequel, and it seems like NBC liked it.
Prequel? They made a pilot.
Pilot.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, is it NBC or CBS? NBC.
NBC is what you wrote.
Okay.
So
yeah, and I mean, I think the original was NBC too, so it makes sense.
Sounds right.
Yeah, Larroquette is coming back as the prosecutor. And Melissa is... Her character is the daughter of Harry Styles. Is that his name? Harry
I don't remember.
Styles.
Really but he was the judge, right?
Yes, the judge.
Yeah, I never watched it, really.
And yeah, so some revival nostalgia. Let's see how it goes. She's talented. She was on Big Bang Theory for many years. She did Harley Quinn several times. Yeah.
As has Kaylee Cuoco. Fun little connection there.
Yes, true.
Yeah. So we just need a Maya Bialik to do it.
Yeah.
We'd get the whole trio as Harley. Anyways, okay, so that's
which was on the news this week. That's just like, I really want this job for the Jeopardy.
Oh yeah.
It's like I was like, if I don't do anything else in my life, if I have this job, I'm good.
It's a good fit for her, I think.
It'll be nice.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I love Jeopardy. I'm glad that they're continuing it.
Yeah, and I think it's she's not only the perfect fit, but it's different because now it's a woman, you know.
Yes.
And I think it would be nice. It would be
No, definitely a good move not to go with like Alex Trebek II, but to just have a new host.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she does have what it takes, I think.
Oh yeah. Basically, we're looking for a personable uber nerd.
And she is an uber nerd. She's a neuroscientist or something like that.
She's got a freaking doctorate.
Yeah.
Oh man. Speaking of nerds, we're getting season 3 of the Orville on Hulu. In March.
Galaxy.
March 10th.
The final frontier. No, the final border.
What?
Star Trek is space, the final frontier.
Yeah.
Orville is galaxy, the last border. Is the parody of Star Trek that what's his bucket? Seth MacFarlane, big fan of Star Trek.
Yeah.
And he finally made it.
He did. The whole thing feels like just a really spectacularly produced fanfic. I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
It gives me all of my Star Trek warm fuzzies, and I've got a lot of them. So.
Yeah, and it has all the McFarlane-y classy humor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Norm Macdonald, that passed away a couple weeks, was in the show as a character.
That's right.
I wonder if he's gonna have some. I want to see if he shot the episodes for this new season. Anyways.
Yeah. Basically, if Seth MacFarlane had been one of the writers for The Next Generation, this is what we would have. It's just fantastic. Anyway, so March 10th for that. On November 17th, we are getting a season 2 of something that I don't think anybody asked for, but it's coming. Tiger King 2.
Yes, that was a surprise.
Right.
Like, what the heck are they gonna do? It's
what do you mean there's more?
There's more. I mean, it's a tough act to follow. Because the guy is in jail. Were they able to go there and record his life in prison?
Yeah, maybe.
And
maybe we're following more like Carol Baskin.
There's also
maybe that weird guru guy who was like the worst, but just in like a more palatable way.
The coat of virgins.
Yeah.
Lion tamers. No, tiger tamers.
Tiger tamers. Yeah. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's happening.
Yeah, it's and there's other things to do. Making what's it call it? Fictional version, with actors and stuff. I don't know if Nicolas Cage was involved. I don't know if he still is, but
yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, because that's what we need. The real thing wasn't bizarre enough.
There's more Tiger King coming to your life.
Yeah. Am I gonna watch it? Of course. But oh my gosh. Ugh. What a weird time. Okay, so Kathleen Kennedy and J.J. Abrams are getting some shade from original Star Wars.
Oh, Marcia.
Yeah.
Right? Marcia
Adams?
Lucas. Yeah, she is a former wife of Mr. George Lucas.
Yeah.
And she was an editor back then, and he was an editor as well. So they edited the movie together. So she edited the movie. She won an Oscar for it. And yeah, she was throwing shade about the sequels, which is like, okay, so Rainey, you know.
Yeah, in her words, they don't have a clue about the franchise.
Yeah, and they kind of don't. It was like they you know what, yeah. It's clearly that stuff there that was like, really? Did you guys ever read the books? Or yeah, but that's the thing. Disney wanted to make their own, and you know,
yeah.
So. And they did to a point that, you know, it's like nobody can sue them for say, hey, that's anyways, even though they bought the rights, they Disneyfied, let's put it this way, Disneyfied in a way that it's Disney. It's clearly not Lucas anymore.
This is very true.
Yeah.
This is very true. Okay, Whitney Houston's The Bodyguard is getting a remake.
I think it's unnecessary. I think it's some hot new young artist that has connections and power in Hollywood and is getting that movie for herself or himself. I don't know how what's the deal. I don't think it's. I don't. It's like it's one of those remake reboots that is like you're probably gonna stay really under the radar because it's like remakes for what they did was it Dirty Dancing, Footloose, or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was Footloose.
Yeah, it's like unnecessary.
Yeah.
But okay.
But it's happening because that's what Hollywood does.
Unless they make it a comedy, but I mean, even that's like yeah, I don't know.
I never saw the original. I'm not like terribly enthusiastic.
Kevin Costner, Whitney Houston. It was really good. And okay, they're gonna make it. I'm not sure if that's really. It's like Hollywood. It's one of those Hollywood's playing safe, remakes, reboots, sequels, and in this one it's like it's safe but unnecessary.
Well. In the meantime, HBO Max has released like a 1 minute little teaser for some of their upcoming like series and seasons, which included first looks at the Sex and the City sequel, and the
sequel.
Peacemaker.
What's a show? As a movie? What the heck is that?
I don't know
because they have 2 movies.
They do. I have never been interested at all in that series or anything. It's not my scene, so I don't know. But it also included a very brief glimpse at what the Peacemaker spin-off show is going to be like. I mean, very brief. We just get like a line.
Yeah, he arrives on his costume. Yeah, at a bar.
Yeah, and his friend says, "Why are you wearing your costume?"
And he's like, "This is a uniform."
This is a uniform. So it looks like we're going to be getting more of the same. Which honestly is probably my favorite role I've seen John Cena in. So I'm totally okay with it.
Yeah. HBO Max is also offering a big discount if you're a subscriber, new subscribers.
Nice.
You should get it.
Yes.
And they're doing that because they got kicked out of Amazon. There was something else. Yeah. So you cannot subscribe HBO Max to Amazon anymore. You have to do through Warner. And then Warner said, okay, come here. We give you a discount. So, yeah. The first year has a 30% discount. No, 26% discount. So, yeah.
Interesting. I was also going to mention on that, and I forgot to earlier when we were talking about Death in the Family and Under the Hood, that a really easy way to get into these comics and to read more of this is to have the DC, what's it called? DC Infinite?
DC Universe.
Yeah.
No, DC.
The app on my phone is called Infinite.
DC Infinite. Yeah, they changed the name. It used to be DC Universe.
But I think it's
Universe Infinite.
Yeah,
Infinite.
okay. DC Universe Infinite is it is a subscription, but it's going to give you access to like an insane amount of comic books, which are DC comics, obviously, and you can read them like chronologically. They have them grouped into storylines like Under the Hood and things like that. So for someone like me who didn't grow up with this, it's been a really great way to get into these stories. So I just want to while we're talking about HBO subscriptions and films based on comic books and shows and all that, just want to throw that out there.
Yeah.
That I've loved it. Yeah. It's a great way to read
all
comics.
The publishing companies have similar services. Marvel has the Marvel Unlimited. I'm pretty sure the other ones have too. Yeah. And you can always buy digital versions of books if you don't want to actually hunt for some old books. They're tough to find.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anything else?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, this is what we have for this week. Next week we're gonna see Venom.
Let there be carnage.
The Odd Couple. Oh, isn't it called The Odd Couple? I thought it was The Odd Couple.
It could be called The Odd Couple, yeah.
Well,
we'll see.
But yeah, there's like people saying it's good and it's fun and it's scary. It's like really. The movie kept the rating PG-13, so it's so scary.
So let there be a limited and reasonable amount of carnage.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Maybe a little bit of carnage. But with the screen all black, you're not gonna see it.
Yeah.
Or hear it. Anyways, that's it for this week. We'll see you next week with more pop culture news and etc. etc. etc.
Live long and prosper.
May the force be with you.
Bye.
Bye.